Hey, we back, and today we're talking about disables. It's been a while. We haven't talked about disables in a good bit because it always brings up some awkward questions. But I have something new to talk about today, which is bundles. I have here all of the updates in deep info, which is pretty nice. It gives you a lot of information on the characters. It has the entire history of updates on Mudae, as far as I'm aware. I mean, it goes back a long way, I know that much. You can see it's up there, but this in itself is not too helpful. However, underneath we have the list of bundles, which is in a sense the same information, doesn't include characters, but this is, as you imagine, a list of bundles. It's pretty nice. You can see, we got some big ones in here. There's a few thousand in them, and then you get random stuff like Western with a lot more than that. And this is kept very much up to date by Sayer. As you can see, this was less than a week ago, so you can use this list to determine what you want to disable. As I've said before, you generally want to be disabling the larger bundles to fill out your disable list to get that 20k or however much you've got. And this is a good method to do it. However, most people don't actually use this. Maybe because you don't know about it, maybe you didn't know about these two channels. They are quite nice to know about in the official server, but there are better methods of doing this. So I will now draw your attention to this chart, which is in the pins of one of the channels on Mudae server. I will also put a link to it in the description. And as you can see, it's a bit nicer. Now, this is not as up to date. I don't know how often this is updated. It says up here we've got July, which is a couple of months out. But to be fair, it's still roughly accurate. You can see how this one is a bit nicer because it's giving us extra information here, like what ratio of roles you're getting from each of these disables. So if you want to make a WA disable list, you probably want to aim for, Western, Kadakawa, maybe Kodansha. Like, you notice how this is the kind of stuff that I disable in my disable lists. I mean, Shuashu is one of the ones that I do as well. Whereas mobile games, as much as it's bigger, it doesn't have nearly as many because obviously it's games. It's up to you what you disable. Obviously, you can disable this stuff if you want games, Maybe you want to make a HA disable list, and you can use this stuff here. To be fair, as you can see by the redness, HA and WA are going to be pretty damn similar, but you probably want to avoid these game ones unless you're rolling for game characters. All in all, this is pretty helpful, but like I said, it's not fully updated. We can go one further. And we can actually find that on the Mudae Wiki. I will not put this in the description because Google it. It's the Mudae Wiki. And this has quite a few links here of particular charts. So I'm going to open some of them quickly just to show you what's going on. We have this one here, which is showing basically the same information. As you can see, it's a bit more updated. Western gone over 10,000 on this one, but it doesn't have the nice colors, so it's a little harder to actually use. In my opinion, I do actually prefer this one. But that's up to you. And like I say, this one is a lot more updated, so you can use that. We have an older chart here. This one is all still nice and readable, but it doesn't have the colours. Well, I mean, it has some colours, but not in the same sense that this does. So again, it's pretty much the same thing. Again, it's slightly outdated, but again, it's not too bad. You can use that one as well. So as you can see, there's quite a few charts there that you can use. We also have this chart as the third link, which is showing all of the characters in every bundle. As you can imagine, there's a lot of characters. I mean, let's just quickly scroll down. Is it even going to load? Oh. Yeah, there you go. It should go down to about 10,000. It seems to get stuck at 9,000. Oh yeah, 1,000 more rows at bottom. There you go. So yeah, this is a thick table. Personally, I don't know what you would use this for. I'm actually not sure. But I'm sure you can find it useful for it somehow. So there you go. That is all in the links here. As it also says, a completely up-to-date list of bundles and their sizes can be DM'd to you using the command bundle list in Mudae World. You have to be in the official server for that, but yes, you can run that command if you like. I still prefer the tables, but that's just me. Now we also have here, if we actually scroll down a bit, a list of bundles on the actual wiki, and as you can see, this one is pretty updated as well. We've got Western over 10,000. I think it's not as updated as one of those charts, but yeah, it's pretty good. And this orders them in size too. so it's better than the one on Discord. You can also use this, although obviously it doesn't have every bundle. At least I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Where does it go down to? Ah, okay, it's got everything that has over 100 characters in it, I guess. So there you go. Like I said, personally, I think this one is probably the best one. It even has the little ratios written here, which is super nice. But it's all up to you. Generally, I would say the wiki actually has a lot more information than people realise on it. Most wikis are not known for being super up-to-date and well-kept. Mudae Wiki actually seems to have some reasonable stuff on it, so good job whoever's doing that. I might draw your attention to a couple of other things that are on the wiki in the future, because it's probably more than you expect. But yes, all in all, that's all I wanted to say. An extra resource for you to make your disable lists. Remember though, as always, you do not need disable lists in game mode 2. You just don't need them. You shouldn't use them. They're not good. So don't... yeah, other than that, most servers will be running game mode 1, and I expect most people are going to be wanting them disable lists. So I would certainly advise you to have a look at something like this. You can pick your chart, you can pick your wiki, your Discord channel, whatever you want to use. But I would suggest having a look, because it's kind of difficult to find the large bundles if not. If you do want an alternative method though, if you really don't like those charts, there is one other thing you can do. Let's say you're doing your rolls, right, and then you see some series here that I don't want Yu-Gi-Oh! What you can do is you can simply check what bundles this is in and then potentially disable one of these. So for example, disable trading card games. It's got 1,200 like characters in it. That's reasonable. Feel free to disable it if you really don't want Yu-Gi-Oh! Or if there's some series that keeps popping up in your rolls and you're fed up with it, don't just disable that one series. Check on imab, see what bundles it's in and disable one of them, because it's a lot more efficient. But that's what disable lists are for, not simply for rolling better characters, but also for disabling the things that you're fed up of rolling. After all, it is a disable list. So yeah, you also have that option, and that is the old-fashioned way of doing it. I would suggest having a look at one of the charts. But that's all I'm saying today. That's all I've got, so I will leave this one here. Bye!